Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Radja with student number 731023105. And today I'm going to talk about some key concepts in second language acquisition and second language learning. For the first one, maybe I will talk about acquisition versus learning. So literally, second language acquisition is when you pick up a language naturally, without even realizing it. Maybe, for example, a children acquire their first language at home just by listening and speaking. And maybe for learning, on the other hand, is more conscious. You study grammar rules, memorize vocabulary, and practice in class. So, if you learn English from movies and chatting with friends, that's acquisition. But if you sit in a classroom and study English grammar, that's learning. Maybe for the next, I will talk about input. So, the second key concept is input. To learn a new language, you need exposure to it. You need to hear it and read it often. But not just any input, it must be comprehensible input, which means language you can mostly understand, even if it's a little above of your level. Maybe we can think about watching a TV show in English. At first, it's maybe hard, but because of the pictures and context, you understand enough to learn new words. That's good input. Mm, Maybe for the next is interaction. Uh, Learning a language is not just about listening. It's also about communicating with others. So when you interact, you negotiate meaning. That means you ask questions, clarify, repeat, and adjust your language to make sure you are understood. Maybe for example is uh, if someone doesn't understand what you said, you might rephrase it. That's interaction, and it help you learn faster. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, the next is output. Another important idea is output, which means producing the language yourself, like maybe for like speaking and writing. So according to researchers, output is necessary because when you try to use the language, you notice what you know and what you don't know. Maybe for example is you might realize you don't know how to say something in English, so you look it up and learn. That's how output helps. For the next is maybe I will talk about the affective factors. So for the next, let's talk about emotions. These are called affective factors. Maybe things like motivation, confidence, and anxiety can influence how fast you learn. If you are motivated and relaxed, you will learn more quickly. But if you are nervous and afraid of making mistakes, you might avoid speaking and your progress will be slower. So it's important to create a positive learning environment. Maybe for the next is interlanguage. So this another concept is interlanguage. This is the in between stage of learning. So when you are not perfect in the new language but also not speaking only your first language, you are in between. Maybe for example, an Indonesian learner might say, "She go to school yesterday." So this is not correct English, but it shows progress. So mistakes like this are a natural part of learning. Next is individual differences. So We also have to remember that every learner is different. Age, personality, and learning styles all affect the process. Children usually acquire pronunciation better, while adults might learn grammar faster. Extroverts might practice more, while introverts might focus more on accuracy. So for the last is second versus foreign language. So finally, we should know the difference between learning a second language and a foreign language. For the first one is a second language is learned in an environment where the language is spoken daily, like learning English in the United States. For the next is a foreign language is learned in a place where it's not used daily, like learning English in Indonesia. So this difference changes how much input and practice you get. So I think that's all for my understanding about the material. Maybe I will close my video presentation. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.